What's up, guys, and welcome to a personal lecture from yours truly. My name is Annie. I go by Annie Loke, so that's what you can call me, or you can just call me Annie. The name of this video is How to Not Let Others Drag You Down. So I'm going to be reading off of Google and off of other websites that I will cite where I'm getting my information from, and I'm also going to make comments as we read. So the purpose of this video and the purpose of the whole situation here is for self-edification. Let me look up the word edification because I don't want to leave anybody behind. And I also don't want to seem condescending, so please understand that this is an educational video. I'm not trying to be condescending to anybody. I'm just giving information, sharing knowledge. Knowledge is power. So edification is a noun. The instruction or improvement of a person morally or intellectually. So without saying all of that, I'm just going to say this is for edification. So it's definitely for improvement morally or intellectually. So either we're going to be getting knowledge or we're going to be getting knowledge that we could use to be a better person. So here we go. How to not let others drag you down. And it's a given. I don't think I have to explain why we don't want to let other people drag us down. Down is not a good place to be. Up is better, like I'm all the way up. You know that song? Like, that's how we want to be. We want to be up. We don't want to be down. Like, down is sad. Down is depressing. Who wants to be there? So we never want to try to be down in life. We want to do the things that it takes so that we always feel up, and it's not always an up season. Life does come in seasons and waves, so it's not always going to be an up season, but you definitely want to just brace yourself to be prepared for the winter and also have up times, because when you keep having downs, it's just, let's get off into this. Y'all understand what I'm saying. You understand what I'm saying. Here are some ways to avoid being dragged down by others. Set boundaries. That means making clear expectations for what behaviors you'll accept from others and what they can expect from you. So we all have a right to let it be known what our boundaries are and what we would like to have done in any kind of relationship, personally. And then people have different kind of boundaries, so everybody's not gonna mesh together, but some things are like give and take to where it's not such a big deal and you can mesh with people. So just being a human being and being a person who wants to go out into the world one day and a person who might be out in the world right now, you need to accept that other people have different values and different beliefs and different ways of moving, and everybody's not just going to fit your one way of, oh, and I was taught that this is the way that we move when we do this and that. So no, you have to actually learn who you're dealing with, and you have to let people know who they're dealing with when they come to you. You understand? So for example, let me give you an example of a boundary that could be found in everyday life. Say you have a friend that's like, it's kind of a new friend, like, what up, bitch? Like, either you can decide, okay, that's not really my vibe and I'm not going to be around that, or you can address that with the person, but you always want to set your boundaries off rip. You don't never want your boundary to feel crossed to where you're already uncomfortable with something and then you have to go back and be like, well, we've been doing this, so can we stop? No, you want to set your boundaries before anything ever happens. You want to set your boundaries right the first time it happens, and the other person should be able to respect that about you. So if they walk up and I'm like, what up, bitch? And my friend's like, don't call me that. Then either I'm not already paying attention to social cues, because me, for personally, I speak English, I speak Spanish, and I'm very worldly. Like, I lived in different parts of the United States, from the East Coast to the West Coast. So it's like I have understanding of social cues a lot of the time. So I already know like who's accepting of what type of language and that type of thing. So if ever I did cross a boundary and somebody stopped me, and they would have that right. You never want to argue with your friends about their boundaries, and that's called respect. So you also, at the same time, while you respect their boundaries, they need to respect yours too. Like, maybe where they're from, they just walk in the house. Like, you might feel like, girl, knock on my door before you come in here. Or you might have to tell them, like, it's cool if you just come in, because their boundary is something different. You don't have to judge them based on you know, them having a different type of upbringing or thought process. You know, it's not that something you need to think that far deep into. It's just, I mean, at this day and age in this country, we need to know how to deal with each other on a plain level, you know, to where everybody's allowed to have differences and things like that. But at the same time, there's a level of respect and acceptance for other people's choices and things like that. So take responsibility, acknowledge your choices, and take responsibility for your emotions and mistakes. Take responsibility. So that goes over to not blaming other people for dragging you down too. So we're not playing a blame game here. You can't just say, oh, well, I don't want to be cool with you. You're dragging me down. I can't be around this. They're dragging me down. Everything is just dragging me down. Everything is just dragging me down. Everything is just dragging me down. Like, you can write a whole song about it, but that still won't make it true if you haven't looked in the mirror and take responsibility for the choices that you make. And that includes choosing not to be around certain things and certain activities and the people that you know are going to do those things. You don't love them people no less, but at this point you're trying to go up, and you know, either people got to go with you or they can stay where they at for real. And that's just how that goes. Or they can, you know, they'll see you when they see you because you're on a different journey. Like, your journey requires you to do different things on a daily than the things that they're doing for whatever their goal might be or might not be. So it says to acknowledge your choices and take responsibility for your emotions and your mistakes. Definitely. So about a part of not letting others drag you down is just taking responsibility and knowing that your choice is your choice. If you were about to go to school and somebody's like, hey, come over here, let's go to what's the name's house? We got the house to ourselves. It's all good. You really ain't gotta go to school today. So you can't say, oh, what's the name dragged me into skipping school. No, that's your responsibility. You chose to go with that person and skip school. So it might be a better choice for you to choose to either just make better decisions, or if you know you're not good with peer pressure, then you need to get some better peers. This is taking responsibility for your life. This is what it looked like.